Here we go.
To know you more clearly, to love you more dearly, and to follow you more nearly each day.
To love thee more dearly, to see thee more clearly, to follow thee more nearly, day by day. By day. Amen.
Amen.
They got the notification yesterday that home was all burned to the ground. Today, it appears that maybe still standing, I'm not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great-grandfather as of today. I was granddaughter. Then I'm a baby girl, a baby boy. So I remember this day for a while, the long reasons.
Thank you, press. That's very good. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, press. Thank you so much.
You know, California's burning down. Let's talk about it. But hey, I'm a grandpa. It's awesome. Yeah, it's all happening on my watch. There's disaster everywhere. But I'm a grandpa. Hey, woohoo. It's despicable. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Well, welcome, members. We did it. This is the new Wednesday Night Members Live. This is your time every week. You guys can now count on it, me being here. It feels good, doesn't it? I feel like a weight's off my shoulders because now I have guaranteed member time every week, and that feels special. That feels good. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you guys happy with the new arrangement? Does this work better for you guys? So yeah, you're already subscribed. I don't have to say like and subscribe tonight. But hey, and why don't you guys put the message out? Let everybody know to join because the membership's more valuable than ever now because now it's a guaranteed Wednesday live and the Discord. So if you guys like this better, just, let me know in the chat. I appreciate it. So listen, tonight, I want to cover the California wildfires, of course, because there's so much going on with that and it has to be talked about. So we're going to go into that and then going to touch on a couple other things, but especially some economic stuff I'm seeing. Guys, it is so wild. These last 12 days before Trump gets in are going to, even once he gets in, it's going to test some people's sanity. Let me just put it that way. But I think it's a good sign overall. I think the California stuff is, I think it's also symbolic of them all burning down in general. That's what I think is happening. So, what just happened here? Sorry. Somebody just wrote me something. But anyways, but first, let me say what's up to everybody. It's Drew Savala, numero uno. Welcome, buddy. First of the the members. That's pretty big. You like listening to some of work? That's awesome. Stony Bones, Hero Large, what's going on? Roger, I'm here now. AC, Be a Pro, Darren Collins, Chad C. What's going on? Country. I'm a dude, man. There's no pronouns here. In fact, you get kicked out for pronouns here. We're all men and women here and nothing else. Pat Shigoya, Troy Man, Butters. That's me. What's up? Donkey. Steve Bernard. Donkey. Phil Zill, Agent Orange. AC, might be a dumb question. Why can't they use ocean water to fight the fires? I had that exact same question for real. I was like, is there some with ocean water that is bad for fires? But no, it just kills fires. So Silent G, welcome. Man, Tam, pump it. I'm not covering AMC, sorry. No. Kathy, what's going on? Richie Rich, good to see you all. Welcome again to the members. No, it wasn't. Country, I know you're serious. You got your pronouns going on. You are he, they, beard. And it's okay. It's okay. We still love you. Just don't bring in my chat. Joe Scarpazza, what is going on? Your pronouns are MAGA and Patriot. Do not refer to me as anything else. I love that. I love that. All right. I don't know if you guys been following this insanity, but I mean, it's just so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. So this might be a little all over the place tonight, but let's just start with the fact of the weirdness going on with these fires. And I'm going to share my own post, which I don't always do, but I kind of tried to sum it up today. So I feel like it's going to work. Vacation spot. I'm not going to lie. We love to get away to Southern California. I don't know if there's a more beautiful place on this earth than Southern California at certain times of the year, especially along the beaches. It's just fantastic. You got the mountains, and it's stunning. If you've never been, you don't know what you're missing. There's a reason people stay in California and put up with nonsense. By the way, I think California is actually mostly a red state. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I think they got full control of those elections and have just completely screwed over that state since. But when I was there, which wasn't that long ago, it was way more conservative. And by way more, I mean in the areas I was in was way more. And so then you got the blue areas, but the valley and the mountains and the desert, it's all conservative. It's just the Silicon Valley and coast in LA. So I'm telling you, it's not as liberal as you think, but it's just breaking my heart to see this happening. I mean, these are gorgeous cities, mostly good people. They don't deserve this. But there's something going on, and I haven't quite figured out what it is yet. There's all this talk of, some people are bringing up the Maui stuff. This is not a land grab. These are the wealthy people. So that's not what this is about. There's talk of the smart city they're trying to get to by 2028. This will get some federal dollars there, especially because the Olympics are coming. That makes some sense. There might be some truth to that. But I'm going to cover some other stuff as we go here. There's some other ideas as well. But listen to this. So far, several fires have broken out. And there's even a new one just about an hour ago in the Hollywood Hills. All over the place. How do several fires break out in different areas that are several miles apart? It doesn't happen. I lived in California. I know what the wildfires are like. They usually start in one area and they just burn. It's very rare to get more than one at a time. And so we have 4 at least. I saw one place say 8, but there's at least 4 major fires going on in different areas right now in Southern California. Fully separated. So it's not like it could have jumped and started a new fire. No, it's way too far away for that. So this is obviously happening on purpose. As of January 1st, fire insurance coverage canceled in the Palisades, which is where this started and where the biggest fire is. The mayor of Los Angeles was out of town when this all started. They've run out of water because they allowed the reservoirs to empty. And this is after California got the most rain it got last year in a long time. Am I kind of choppy? I'm sorry. Maybe restart on your end because I have a really strong connection. So I don't think it's on my end. But if it is, that could be a problem. Let me see what it looks like. No, I look pretty smooth. So anyways, then... Oh, and then the Forest Service made a thing last year in October that said, we're just leaving a lot more brush this year than usual. We're just not going to clean it up. You just can't. This stuff doesn't make any sense, okay? For it all to happen at once. It's one thing if they did some dumb, because California does dumb stuff, right? It's one thing if one dumb thing happened, okay? But this is all that's happened so far, and there's more. And I know there's some people out there who say, my mic cut. Really? I'm sorry, guys. I don't see that at all on my end. Okay, it was glitch on you and you reloaded, so that's good. Okay, good. Just reload, guys. Yeah, they were prevented from conducting more controlled burn. Exactly. So, listen, all this comes together and you just know something's happening that is planned and coordinated. I didn't see any laser strikes. There was some weird stuff kind of falling around, but I also saw homeless people starting fires in a video, which was pretty crazy. So, man, lots of you had to reboot. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what YouTube's doing. Maybe it doesn't like what I'm talking about. It's the deep state. Everybody, it sounds like you just reload. It'll be fine. So, okay. Anyways, all that weird stuff going on. And it continues. I mean, also they timed it perfectly because right now there's 80 to 100 mile winds going on, which we're talking California in January, Southern California. 5 years ago, I was in California in January, and I specifically picked it as a vacation for my family to go to Malibu and to Disneyland. We picked it because it was in the 70s. It was gorgeous and perfect. They don't get bad weather in January down there. And it says 100-mile-per-hour winds don't only hit expensive real estate areas last I checked. Furthermore, electricity provider already cut the lines through dense forest areas, and at last fires don't start like clockwork at sites distant enough to strain firefighter efforts. You think so? I mean, this stuff is just crazy. Let me bring up the map. I didn't have it ready, sorry. But I want to show you guys the map of what we're looking at right now. There's a good live one. Where is it? A live tracker. Wasn't Cal Fire. Oh, I know why it's bringing it up different. I was using Google before. I want to show you guys this because once you see it, you just realize that this is not possible. And I still can't seem to find the one I was looking at. Is it NBC? Maybe this is it. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Oh, stop. Stop. I don't want to support you guys. This is... Yeah, here we go. Nope, that's power outages. Sorry, I know this is fascinating, but there's one that showed all the fires at once, and that's what I'm looking for. Here we go, show all fires. All right, look at this. Look at this. This is insanity. Let's pull in over here because that one doesn't matter as much. So you have the Palisades, Woodley, Pasadena, Hearst, Lydia, and it's just all over. And I wish they all showed the ramp up like this, but you guys can see this does not make sense. This makes no sense that you could start all these fires that far apart. That's not natural. There's no way in hell that's natural. And there's a lot of interesting stuff coming up, and I'm not saying I've validated this yet, but it's something to look onto. Okay. Look at this list of celebrities known to live in Pacific Palisades. Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, which is Hanks' wife, Spielberg, Reese Witherspoon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Aniston, Bradley Cooper. I've already been reading of several celebrities who've lost their houses, including one I love, James Woods. Adam Sandler, Michael Keaton, Miles Teller, Eugene Levy, Steve Guttenberg, Dan Aykroyd, Billy Crystal, Dr. Dre, Chris Pratt, who's one of the good ones, his wife, Miss Schwarzenegger, Matt Damon, Kate Hudson, Zooey Deschanel, Matthew Perry, who's dead, so I don't know why that's still listed as his hat. Bob Saget's house, also, he's dead as well. Michael Mann, Alan Bergman, Kathleen Kennedy. Anyways, the point is, this is where a lot of the celebrities live. And so it's made people think, like, are they getting rid of some evidence? This is the kind of stuff I can't tell you for sure because we're not going to know much for a long time. But there are definitely things happening that don't make sense here. And it's obvious this is planned. Trump comes in now in 11 days. We have 11 days till Trump comes in. is this a last-ditch effort to get federal funding for California's massive budget issues before Biden leaves? Possible. Is it destroying evidence of horrific things going on? Possibly. Is it killing two birds with one stone? Maybe. It could, yeah, it could just be all of the above, or it could be something we don't even know yet. But the fact is like, I can't keep my eyes off this. This is, they say right now that there's only a 7% chance of it even being contained a little bit by Friday. They expect this to rage for days on end. In other words, they need a miracle. We need a miracle, because I tell you, no matter what's happening with all this stuff, the fact is like, there's a lot of real people, good people, don't deserve to be a part of this, who I've been seeing posts of people being like, my house burned down. I'm just a regular guy, you know, who finally worked my way up to buy a house down here. You know, I'm a Trump supporter, you know, people writing about their friends who've lost their houses. This is horrific. This is horrific. And it's not showing any signs of letting up. And so we just need to pray. I mean, State Farm, one of the biggest insurers in California, canceled hundreds of homeowners policies last summer in Pacific Palisades, same area being ravaged by I mean, not only did State Farm pull out, but there was other places who pulled their fire coverage. Why specifically the fire coverage? I just don't think this stuff makes sense. And then you have Trump, which Trump's the best, but he's calling it out left and right. And thank God for that. Hopefully the, you know, we want, I don't know how he's going to figure this out, because some people deserve to get some of that federal money. But I don't want California bailed out or able to use it in a way that supports their horrific running of the state. So the question is, how is Trump going to manage this? Because I could see some kind of aid coming before the end of Biden's term, him trying to put something together. But here's the deal. They already bankrupted FEMA pretty much last fall. FEMA's got very little money. So anyways, I want you guys to listen to this.
Out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny. Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side. And he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration.
That's really interesting what he just said. He said that if these people leave, they could lose half their tax base, which they want to lose half because there's a lot of money in Silicon Valley, probably even more. And it really hasn't gotten that much into Beverly Hills yet, but he makes a great point. California is already running major deficits. And if any of these people decide to bug out for good, that's a major issue for them, because some of these people aren't entrepreneurs that are rich. It's like actors, directors, they're basically employees. They get an income, so they pay massive income tax. Massive. They pay the federal, and then they pay the California income tax, which is like 13.5%. Now, some of them don't live there all year. This is like their fourth, fifth house. So there's that to factor in as well. But it is very interesting that this long term could seriously hurt California in that aspect as well.
Water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him when he was governor. We worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem, because you're talking about big, big dollars.
All right, so apparently Trump doesn't know about the insurance companies being out yet, but anyways, his thing about the smelt, though, is really interesting, and how California has all this water. In 2014, they passed a $7.5 billion, the people voted on it, to preserve all this water, and then Newsom never implemented it. Why? You gotta ask yourself why. I mean, it makes sense that this is what they want. Paulion says, came to tell you not to make those weird faces on YouTube channel. Hey, they work. People like those thumbnails. Roger, people evacuate, have nowhere to go because illegals are in the emergency facilities. That's so sad and insane. Donkey, Canada's knows I'm promoting Trump's annexation of the Great White North. They're targeting me. Oh boy. Paulion, you're there? How close is it to you, man? That's scary. Are you seeing any of this get closer to you? Drew, majority of the houses were Epstein's and Diddler's buddies. I think there's truth to that too, but it's also spread much, much further than that. Last I heard, there was 1,200 structures that have already been destroyed. 1,200. A lot of those are houses. Roger says the arson investigators have been on site since the beginning of the fires. Nothing's being revealed. This is significant. Someone's suppressing the information. Oh my God. I mean, I believe it. That lines up with everything else we're saying as well. Fishing in Denmark. Roger, insurance companies likely pulled out because of hazard rating. Well, here's the deal. Even if they did, okay, and let's say that the insurance companies are not a part of it. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They pulled out last summer. They just made that decision and got out because they saw the writing on the wall. And that's possible. I'm not ruling that out at all. Okay, private companies, maybe they're not involved in this. In fact, it's more likely they're involved in something that makes them money versus just getting away from it. So, but still the timing then, because this all happens in areas where they don't have fire coverage, and these people, whoever are setting these fires, whatever's going on, they know it. They know it. So, look out, Arizona and Texas. Here comes another influx of people from California. Maybe. I'll tell you that it depends. See, a lot of these are liberals, and most of the people who went to Arizona and Texas from California were not liberals. I can tell you that 100% is true in Texas. Can't say as much for Arizona, but in Texas, you can just look at the voting demographics. I mean, in 2016, Trump won the state by like 5 to 7 points, somewhere in that range, and this time he won it by 14. That's a massive gain. Your friends in Silmar Duarte were notified. Wow. Donkey says, I'm in the middle of moving to another home in Stockton. State Farm said they'll not rewrite your renter's insurance. There's a moratorium. Oh, wow. I heard State Farm might pull out of the state altogether. So, what's up, Toe Cramp? What are you coding? Is this another 15-minute city plan? The only problem with that being pro is with Trump coming in and every state moving right. So, California has significantly moved to the right in this election. I think Trump got like an extra almost 2 million votes in California than he got in 2016. So, or even 2020. So that's a massive shift to the right. And with Trump coming in, I don't see anywhere in America being able to pull off a 15-minute city. I just don't see it. I think all those plans for anything like that, it all died when Trump won the election. I really believe that. I really do. Now, they might try some other stuff, but the 15-minute city thing, I just don't see happening. California, even after this is going to make more people become Republican or at least conservative independents. get away from the Democratic Party. This will have more because the response is so atrocious. And let me bring up some more stuff here. Here's the new fire that just erupted in the Hollywood Hills. This is by the Hollywood sign. It literally could take out the Hollywood sign. Can you imagine how symbolic that is? So think about this too. I don't believe that God caused this. So there's a lot of idiots out there saying there's judgment on California. I'm sorry, just people who say that do not understand Jesus. They don't understand the New Testament. This is not what God does anymore. He doesn't. Judgment, what God allows now as judgment is he allows you to get caught by justice. He says he put the people in place to carry out justice. That's in Romans 13. And he allows you to face your consequences. That is justice in the New Testament. God no longer intervenes to strike people down with destroy cities. That's not who God is. Even in the Old Testament, with Sodom and Gomorrah, he said if there were 10 righteous people, he would not destroy the city. So even in the Old Testament, he was merciful. It's about justice. It wasn't about wrath. And in the New Testament, by the way, there's no mention of wrath after Jesus. Okay, so get that out of your heads if you're one of those people. But this isn't God. This is not God, what God does. There's too many good people there. I know California. It's way better than you guys think. The government's worse, but the people are better. And this just isn't how it works. So, but he can do stuff in it. He always can use it for good. So, it is possible like he's using this to clean stuff out. It's possible he will, he is going to speak through it. That's guaranteed. And I feel like if the Hollywood sign goes down, that is a prophetic declaration that the deep state is burning down. I really believe that. So that's the kind of stuff we got to watch for. This is, guys, I don't think most people realize what a big deal this is yet. I really don't. This is devastating the entertainment industry. Absolutely devastating it. It's going to change Southern California for years to come, right as Trump's coming in. It's going to help shift California right as Trump's coming in. You can't make this stuff up. And so what the enemy means for evil, the Lord will turn for good. And that's what's happening. I believe there's some evil plan behind all this, some sinister plan, but God will make good things come out of it. And I think one of it is that Hollywood is there's going to be major shifts there, loss of power, all kinds of stuff. So just things to look for, things to consider as you process this and watch it, because sorry, my kids put their animal in my kids got a rat for Christmas. It's actually pretty cute, but it's loud and it's in my office. So I got that going on now too. But anyways, so we just got to keep our eyes on this. But I don't think any of this, the timing is, it's nothing's coincidental. Nothing's coincidental. And I think the deep state's burning. So I'm not going to show it too much on YouTube because it's so sensitive, the content. But I don't know if you guys are following this whole rape gang stuff in UK. It's some of the most abhorrent, disgusting stuff you've ever heard. It's heartbreaking. They just voted today to not investigate it by like a 3-1 margin. So these people are just pure evil in the government there, way worse than our government. And that's saying a lot. And because we're talking about like 10-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls, it's horrific. But I feel like in the next few weeks, there's going to be a shift, because with Elon exposing it, now the whole world knowing what's going on a major level, it's going to shift the people of England, the good people there, to stand up some more. Things are happening. Things are happening. And so we have Hollywood burning. We have UK horrible government sex stuff being covered up. The government's doing the cover up. The stuff's happening from their immigrants, Pakistanis mostly. They say they estimate that somewhere between like 50,000 and 250,000 girls little girls have been raped in the last 2 decades or so. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that just your mind can't even comprehend how horrific it is. It just, as a father of 4 beautiful girls, I'm like, if I knew about one of those homes and I found out, honestly, I'd burn it to the ground and hopefully have all the Pakistanis in it. That's how I feel about it. Like and it doesn't matter that they're Pakistani. I don't care if they're white, whatever. It's just anybody who runs something like that is just so evil. And, they say it's like 1 out of 7 of the immigrants that are a part of this. So it's just the most evil stuff, you know. And I can't talk about it too much because I just get too angry. And I'm just believing that when this stuff comes to light, God's dealing with it. And so this is coming to light. The Hollywood stuff's coming to light. Our government is scrambling. The people there, the politicians there, as Trump is getting ready to come in. We're seeing so much happen at once. The economy, which we're going to touch on in a minute, is getting worse by the minute, pretty much by the day, I should say. There's so much going on that you can actually feel the shift. Everything's ramping up now for a reason. And I believe that reason is it's all about to be dealt with. And Trump's main calling is not just to stop the bleeding in America, although that's a big part of it, but it's to bring justice. It's to bring justice. And as he brings justice and brings us back to constitutional republic, that sets us up to rebuild after him or towards the end of him. So much is happening, guys. And it's a good thing, but it's only going to get uglier for a while. It really is. We're going to have wins. We're going to have wins all the time. Don't get me wrong. But as those winds increase, the darkness is going to be exposed more and more awful things are going to come to light. And it's going to be gross. It's going to be gross, gruesome, and awful. And you're going to see things like in the UK, what's going on. If you read some of these stories, you're just like, how could a human being even consider doing that to a precious child? It just will. It's evil on the darkest, deepest levels. And you know that, the enemy, Satan, the devil, whatever you want to think of them, his demons, they don't attack. Like, you can't be walking down the street and a demon come and attack you and just jump into you. That's not how it works. What they do is they work on you. They get you believing lies. They get you partnering with them. And if you don't have Jesus, you have no defense. And you start going down a rabbit hole. And these people in darker places, whether it's Islam, atheism, Hinduism, whatever, they start allowing stuff into their lives that isn't good, and it's demons. And what happens is they start partnering with that and getting darker and darker, and that's how the devil reveals himself in these ages, is through that, through humanity partnering with him. So. Just saying like that. And and we're going to see a lot more of it. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard to look at, but it's happening because it's time. But the good news is it also means we're winning and we're going to get our country back. And I believe we're going to get a prosperous time for all of us, moving forward. Roger says, I'm so enraged over that situation. I agree, man. It's nothing angers me like that. Hollywood sign would be epic, says Toe Cramp, like the Georgia Guidestones. I agree. Hero Large 2022 likes, smash the like. Thank you guys. Smash the like. Appreciate it. Roger says, if your house on fire, make sure there's someone out front to let them know there are occupants inside. Otherwise they won't enter the building. Are you serious? That's crazy. Yeah. It's God's burden to deal with this evil. It's our challenge to defer to his judgment. Well, he will do it through us. And by that, I mean by who we voted in, which is Trump, by our leaders we appoint, by our exposure, and by us partnering. God does almost everything with his people now, and that's why he gave us the Holy Spirit, so we could work with him. And Jesus said before he left, he said, "You'll do greater things than I." So what's up, Chad? Late, but still loved. They issued an evacuation order for Santa Monica, nearly 300,000. Again, just it spreads. Okay. Let me go to some of the insanity going on in our economy right now. This came out today. Consumer revolving credit in the U.S. fell off a cliff. The last 6 months drop is even larger than the drop seen in 2008, second largest behind 2020. This is crazy. Look at this chart. So this is revolving credit for consumers. Access to credit, your ability to borrow, all that just shot down. I mean, look at that. Just cratered. The only other time this happened, 2020, with the flash crash, and it bounced right back up. What's the excuse this time? We don't have one. You can see going back, 08, it went down, but it didn't go down so steeply or quickly. It kind of crept down and then bounced back up. 01, a little bit, but this is crazy. Where's it going to keep going? Have they been hiding this? Kobisi letter says, drops like the one we just saw have rarely ever been seen outside a credit event. This comes as consumers have taken on $400 billion of credit card debt in under 4 years. Yikes. We haven't got an official credit event yet, and this is happening. Or are we getting it before we know about it? That's what I wanted to say. I forgot to share this too. What happens when California is in serious debt? How much is California in debt? How do you obtain Fed money, light fires, and declare a state of emergency, request billions from the Fed? So, and he's sharing some Q posts, which is always really interesting, the Q stuff, which just says what happens when California is in serious debt and lost priority aid from the Fed government due to sanctuary status, light fires. Anyways, sometimes some of this Q stuff was for sure accurate in the time it came out. Sometimes people pull it into the future. I'm not sure about that, but it's still very interesting. And okay, credit event. Okay, so Dow Jones has only violated this 125 resistance trend line once before in September 29. 29 versus 2025 patterns are still perfectly aligned. And you see right here, 29 moving up, hit its peak, boom, crash. And we're still in the upswing here in 2025. But this is tracking very similarly to 1929. He's been following it. So anyways, get ready, guys. On top of that, this morning, the 10-year yield jumped to 4.71. It ended up going back down, but still, that's massive. The closer we get to 5, it's danger, Will Robinson, danger. Over 4.6 is already strenuous. 4.7 is major red light warning. All this happening and coming out today. We have on average, it now takes people about 6 months to find a job, roughly a month longer than the post-pandemic hiring boom in early 23. So it's getting harder and harder to find a job. Less people are hiring. I think that means unemployment's going to go up soon. Finance Lot's calling out, get ready for the crisis narrative. What do you think it'll be this time? And he talks about the total revolving credit MACD indicator about to cross below 0 in January 2025. And he gives us this right here. August 2008, crash, repo bank crisis, 2019 into COVID, crash, January 2025, what's going to happen? So it's just more and more. Trump's going to be dealing with something Drew, what about the FOMC minutes? Yeah, I read those today. So in the FOMC meeting before they cut in December, they stated that they were worried about Trump's, what's it called? His tariff policies, basically, that they would be inflationary. First of all, it's all nonsense. It's not that tariffs can't be inflationary. Do not get me wrong. It's nonsense because they're taking it out of context of all he's going to do together. I'm getting something else pulled up here in a second, so bear with me, guys. So when he does, because Trump's going to do offsets, and he's also not going to just tariff everything nonstop. But they said that along with the immigration slowing down. So they're also worried about that happening. By the way, I forgot there's no futures, and that's because tomorrow the market's closed for Jimmy Carter. I just remembered that. So January 9th, market's closed tomorrow. The reason I'm talking about that is because I'm about to pull up and talk about the market. But yeah, so FOMC, that came out today. Everybody is worried. It says right here, gainish investors shake off Fed's inflation warning. Dude, the Fed, it's not going up because of Trump's policies. That is a cover. They are blowing cover. The real reason it's going to go up is because they cut too soon. They cut too soon, and they put us in an awful trend line, and the Biden administration spent like drunken sailors, even though there was no emergency. They spent more than there was. You'd spend in a wartime, and they did it with nothing going on. So they're killing us. And the Fed rate hikes held inflation down a little bit and were able to offset some of that spending. But then the Fed decided to cut. And inflation was already creeping up since they cut. And now coming into this year, all that spending is going to go away, which actually could lead us into a deflationary period. So the Fed is lying to us. They are lying to us. They know what's coming, or they know at least what's possible on the horizon. They know all this money is about to dry up because Yellen's leaving, Biden's leaving. They know that the economy is much worse than they say it is. And they know that they cut too soon. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to pass blame. It's not going to work. This isn't going to be blamed on Trump. Trump's going to put tariffs in action, but he's also going to cut taxes, and he's going to dry up the money supply. I really believe that. If he allows things to tank, as he should, we're going to enter deflation. Everything's going to get cheaper. On top of that, the other thing they do not factor in, they're not factoring in that he's going to unleash energy like we've never seen before. Drill, baby, drill. It's going to be crazy. He's going to open that up. We're going to go get major natural gas going again. He's going to try to get Greenland with all their stuff, which will just add on top of the boom we had in 2019. As a country, we're going back to that boom of 2019, maybe even surpassing it. A lot is about to happen with that. That will also be deflationary. So you put all that together and you get policy where prices are going to get cheaper. When the economy tanks for a season, it'll be harder economically in a lot of people's finances, but probably not much harder than it is now, especially if prices go down. The only problem will be that a lot of people are going to be unemployed for a bit and maybe lose a lot of their investments. But we'll come out of that, and then things will really take off. But that's what we're looking at. So it's going to be deflationary, not just in prices of goods, but also in assets. So that's why it'll be a great time to invest as well. If you're ready for the crash, you don't worry. Just like that Robert Kiyosaki post I shared the other day. They will say tariffs cause inflation. They're already trying to plant that narrative, but it's not going to work. Those Q screens look familiar, says Toe Cramp. I know. I thought you'd like that. Roger says Trump can't accept the FBI cannot complete background checks on his appointees until late February. It's not that he can't accept it. It's that it's unacceptable. There's no excuse for this. They are purposely postponing it. By the way, it's not true that it's going to be till late February on all of them. There's actually a few they believe they could get confirmed almost immediately. And they're really going to push the foreign policy ones, the people in the State Department, so on and so forth. People like Rubio will sell right through. Pam Bondi, they're bringing up some stuff on her, but that's not going to last. The Senate Republicans are going to push on this. I believe they will, because I believe Trump is going to come after Congress from the bully pulpit in a big way to get his stuff through. And we've already shown that they respond to the pressure of MAGA from X and other places. So, but it's not, I disagree with you, Roger, when you say Trump can't accept that. I think Trump shouldn't accept it because it's unacceptable. There's no reason they can't perform background checks. These people have been, it doesn't take that long to do a complete background check. I'm sorry. It just does not, especially when you're a public figure. So it's nonsense that it's taking them this long. But also in the beginning, this is months ago, so it shouldn't even matter anymore. But in the beginning, Trump, they weren't sure they wanted the FBI to do them. But the Senate was demanding that it's the FBI that does it. So there might be some stuff going on there as well. But what's up, Vin Man? JC Cool, what's going on? Good to see you guys. So, but members, if you are hearing anything else or got anything else to share about the wildfires, anything, please let me know, as I'm very interested. Okay, so today the markets barely moved, pretty dead day. NASDAQ was down again after that killing yesterday, which is interesting to me. VIX went down a little bit. Crypto has been getting blasted. I mean, at one point, Bitcoin was down to 92,000. So that's been really interesting to watch. XRP has bounced back. Gold is just holding in this area. Here's bonds. They went down a little bit, which helped, but you still see it's like trying to hold that 4.7 range. So all of that is interesting to watch. Our stocks got pretty killed today. Finger down. DJT, which this doesn't surprise me. I actually think with DJT, we might see a short attack over the next few days leading up to the inauguration. So I would just prepare for that, because they know once the inauguration comes, it's over. Trump will be in, he'll start getting his people in place, and they're expecting the new SEC chair to go right through, maybe even on day one. So that could be, things could be changing with DJT very quickly. So in my opinion, if it goes down even more, I'm going to try to scoop up some more. I'm so bullish on this stock in the short term. We got 11 days till inauguration, guys. I just can't see any way DJT doesn't make a major move. If it doesn't, and I'm wrong, so be it. But that would be crazy. Finger, on the other hand, I just don't know what's going on. It really was trying to break over 130 again last week and early this week, and then just it's completely changed around. So I don't know what to expect there. GameStop showed a lot of strength yesterday. It lost it today. Let's see, in after hours, yeah, I mean, it just kind of held the same. Finger went up a little bit. And I was watching FFIE. I'm going to take that off. I'm not really watching it anymore. And Rumble had that squeeze, and now that's over as well. So I will say that Rumble has some major plans coming up. So I would think that Rumble is probably going to bottom out soon, and it might be something worth looking at. Again, not financial advice, but it's something I'm going to be looking at getting into a little bit, because I think Rumble could actually have a big year. Candace, what's up? Everybody, hope you're all great. None of you or your families near the fires. Yeah, amen to that. Uncle Andy, did anyone have Fubo? No. Did you make some good money off that? I didn't see what they did. Richie says, agrees with me on DJT. Got calls for the 23rd. Love that. OPEX is next week too, which is options expiration. Let's look at this Fubo. What did it do? Fubo TV. Oh, they made that big. So today was not good for Fubo. But they did make that big deal. And, oh yeah, look at that. Did it? So it went up to 6 today before coming back down, but it was, oh man, yeah, 140 to, yeah, that's a nice move. Hope you sold at a good high place. JC Cool, hope you're right, but man, financial terrorists know how to keep wheels turning to naked short. Seems like it'll never end. You're right. Absolutely, JC Cool. And I'm not telling you guys anything's guaranteed because that'd be stupid. Yeah, they settled with Disney. That's right. But here's the deal. Our best chance ever of something happening with these heavily naked shorted stocks, our best chance ever is now. It really is, as Trump gets in, because we have people who are finally going to enforce the rules, who will probably investigate. We have people directly involved with this stock, which now is one of the most heavily manipulated stocks in the world. And it's also attached to the most powerful person in the world. I just don't see how they win this. They're losing everybody else. So you have that going on, and they're also running out of money. Liquidity is driving up everywhere. So you better believe they have Trump's ear on this, because Devin Nunes is deep in this. Devin Nunes has been out there. He's the CEO of Trump's company. Trump's company. He owns it. And Devin Nunes is the CEO, and Devin Nunes is out there speaking. So I get, and this is not your fault, JC Cool, I do get a little irked when people are like, Trump isn't saying anything about naked shorting. Trump, I wish this, I wish that. He is. He's just not using his voice. Devin Nunes is the voice of Trump in this issue. I guarantee it. And so just remember, every time Devin Nunes talks about this stuff, that's Trump talking. Him and Nunes are very close. He entrusted him to run his company. You got to believe it. He's a huge Trump guy, been since the beginning, was loyal from the beginning, one of the few. When Nunes talks, that's Trump talking. I just want you guys to understand that. Pam Bondi, 100,000 shares, going to be Attorney General. Kash Patel, FBI Director, sits on the board of Trump Media, or at least did until now. I don't know if he still is. And Trump owns it outright, the majority stake. So listen, there's no way in hell they don't deal with this. Are you kidding me? There's just no way. And if they don't, and if I'm wrong, then I would say get out forever. Get out forever, and just don't ever chase a short squeeze again. And unless you're lucky enough to catch one like right as it's happening or before it's happening, because you just find a setup and ride out, because these long-term short squeeze plays are just probably never, ever going to work. If DJT doesn't work out, and I'm not saying it's going to go to 1,000, I don't think that'll probably happen, honestly. But we could easily get 125, 300, 500. I could see all those scenarios. I definitely could. And I think those are actually pretty likely. Is it going to go to 10,000? Let's just stop talking about those numbers. Those used to be fun. I just don't think. I think what happens, they've got so much control over these things now that if we all know about something like that, they're just never going to let it hit the heights like that. Because they have so many ways they can balance the selling and keep the price from shooting up. I think something like HKD happened because they did it for themselves. So I've kind of lost my hope of ever seeing a squeeze go to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 that we're in. But can we still get one that goes 125, that we quadruple our money, 10 times our money? Could Finger still hit 100? I think it could hit 100 easy. That's $100 or 100 times you just made your money. So that's the kind of stuff I think is very possible. But I just I struggle with the 1,000 anymore. Although, if I'm proven wrong, I'll be the happiest person alive. But I'm not going to talk like that's going to happen anymore. But having said all that, is DJT going to make a major move? I would be so shocked if it doesn't. And maybe it surprises us all. I do believe that DJT at this point, with the shareholders, with the naked shorts in it, the way they attacked it because Trump's in it, I do believe it's probably bigger than GameStop at this point. And I mean, even GameStop before it diluted in May. I do believe that. And so take that for what it's worth. But I am so bullish on this stock, I can't control it. I just am. And it has to do with the fact that since 2016, Trump has not let me down. I just don't think it's going to happen here either. I think it's kind of like a blessing to the people who've been loyal to Trump, honestly. I just do. I think that's what's going to turn. And it kind of already has been if you know how to trade. Just be honest. Uncle Andy, you sold at 480, but that's pretty good. What did you buy it at? What's up, Linda Telly? JC Cool says, you're okay with him not saying anything, allowing his people like the incoming SEC chair to send the message to the DOJ. I agree. Yeah. Mantan, you wait for DJT to pump at least 10% before a buy. 3-week out option for a squeeze. Otherwise, we wait for a crash first. And that's possible. That's absolutely possible. The thing is, timing always comes down to, and it's impossible to know if they will push the shorts to cover early, like before a crash, or if when the crash thing goes, they let it blow. That's what it is. Butters, worn out by the whole DJT thing. That said, I'm still holding. About the second day DBW. Let me ask you this, Butters. Are you green? Because I would imagine you got to be green in it, right? And if you are, I would just, because I don't know how it's kind of hard to not be green in DJT, honestly, unless you bought in the 50s or 40s and just held and didn't trade it at all these last few months, because that opportunity when it went down to 12 was so massive to basically gain a lot of money back. So I would imagine you're even. Okay. I guess I could understand that. To me, it's always had something to do with Trump's election that we'd really see something break out here. But, we're going to find out very soon, in my opinion. This has got to be the year, because Trump's in now. It's clear they're getting ready to tank the economy. This has got to be the year when it happens. If it doesn't happen, it's just, it was a beautiful dream. That's all I can say. But it's one of the reasons I don't push the stocks as much anymore and talk about them as much, because, do I believe in all these as potential? Absolutely. But I think the GTI thing, just and finger being extended so long, it's discouraging, and it was hard to just get excited anymore. But I've also learned a lot as an investor and as a trader. And so I make more money now because I actually make good moves. I actually take profits, but, and I buy dips. So I've learned a lot, and I've learned how to make money, but my expectations and hopes for huge squeezes have definitely taken a hit. Drew says, a lot of people questioning Trump's moves for a funeral of the president, saying someone might take a shot at him. People are saying that about everything now, though, Drew. Dan Bongino was out there the other day talking about the inauguration. Here's the deal. Trump and his team know all the threats. They know that everything he does, there's a potential threat. And so I guarantee you he is not showing up anywhere without every single due diligence possibly done. I'm just telling you, that's how it is. Unless he's there with the other presidents and Biden himself turns around and shivs Trump, which would ruin the country and the Democrats forever, by the way. But it's like, that's the kind of thing I think it'd take. Other that are like a drone dropping a nuke. But honestly, they're not going to get a drone up there. They would be killing all their people too. So I don't see it happening. I know that there's a lot of worry about this because so many people are still convinced that they've got it deep in their hearts that this good stuff just can't happen. They have convinced themselves, and I get it. Once hope deferred makes the heart grow sick, it's, and it says in Proverbs, I get it. A lot of people have had so much hope deferred that now they're sick and they can't imagine things actually are turning around. And so many people are just waiting for Trump to die. They're waiting for all of our hope to just be taken away. They believe everything happening now is just too good to be true. I'm here to tell you it's not. I'm here to tell you it is happening. and that there's amazing people behind the scenes who are smarter than all of us, myself, you, every one of us. There are smarter people, more informed people making all these decisions. And Trump is safe. I have no doubts about that whatsoever. If he's not safe, he'll swear in not at the Capitol on Inauguration Day. If he's not safe at Carter's funeral, he won't show up. We got to stop. I'm not playing that game anymore, though, guys. If I'm going to live my whole life, the next 4 years, every time Trump's in public being like, oh, they're going to shoot him. It's like, what the hell are we doing? I'm not going to live like that. I'm not even going to address it. I'm not even going to say worry about it because it's not worth it. If it happens, it happens, and we just trust that they have a great succession plan. That's why I think J.D. Vance is there. But it's like at this point, like, why on earth would we doubt Trump and his team? Are you kidding me? The man has overcome more than most of us, more than 20 of us would go through in our lives combined. For most of us, not everybody, but for most of us, the man has overcome that and become president. He's been historical in all the ways he's dealt with it. He survived 2 assassination attempts. I mean, come on. I just can't think this anymore. I can't go there anymore, guys. It's not, honestly, I don't think it's worth our time. I really don't. I think it's a waste of time worrying that something's going to happen to Trump at this point. I really do. There's much more important things too. It's time to think about solutions, not how we're going to lose what we have. The time for worrying about losing what we have is over. Now it's time to start thinking of solutions of how to build and to protect and how to grow moving forward. It's solution time. JC Cool at $3.12 or $12 an open invitation to buy. That's right. They over naked short. I like that. Roger, naked short sellers have a way to hide their shorts in ETFs and it's legitimate. We can never win unless the rules change. It's not that we can never win. I disagree with that. We can't win the way we want to win or maybe deserve to win. But I don't think you're right that we can never win. I just don't agree with that. Roger, what do I think Trump is going to reveal at the victory rally? I don't know. You mean the rally the day before the inauguration? Yeah, I have no idea. I kind of just think he wants to get one last time out there. That's kind of what I think. I don't necessarily think it's going to be anything huge. Because why would he want to screw up his inauguration day if he does something crazy? No, I think it'll just be him doing one last fun rally because he loves doing them. So, but anyways, guys, well, it's getting late. I'm going to have to call it a night. But members, thank you so much for your support. I hope you guys like the Wednesday night setting now. I hope this works better for you. Definitely works better for me. And, if in weekends, if I go live on a weekend now, I'll probably just be public. So, but you guys, this will just be your night going forward. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for all the support. I hope I can just continue to deliver you more value going forward. And yeah, just trying to build a better channel for everybody involved. And again, your guys' support means the world to me because I'm taking a risk by doing less lives. My income's already gone down half in the last 6 months from YouTube because they've just been crushing me on the ads stuff. So you guys literally are the reason that I can keep doing this. And I am taking a risk by actually cutting down my content even more. But I'm just hoping that if I'm better and I can keep doing a good job, that things will turn around. So, but I appreciate you guys because you guys just, you do make it happen. Candace say better not come up to the desert. I hope not. I think you'll probably be okay in the desert. I would guess so. I've been to the California desert. It's not very fire attractive. It's not much to burn out there unless you get like the Joshua trees or something. But thanks, JC. White males are doing too much firefighting in California. That's what they tell us, right, Roger? That's funny. If you guys don't know, he says that because the fire chief, they hired some crazy lesbian DEI fire chief who said that it's a crisis that there's not enough women in firefighting. And so they cut the firefighter budget by $17 million in LA, and then they hired a bunch of DEI hires who probably can't even do the job right. So it's pretty crazy. Donkey says, you say he drops the Brunson verdict and poof, he's president. Oh my God. He can't drop the Brunson verdict. It would be public knowledge. I just don't think that's possible. But anyways, we'll see. I don't. But if he does that, Donkey, then he could come into constitutional issues with about to take a third term. So I don't know how that would work. Did I see the stupid interview she did? I saw parts of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing. It was horrific. But anyways, guys, let's pray, and I will let you guys go. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Bless these people, Lord. I just hope they know how just super grateful I am for the members here and their support. I don't think they truly realize just how hard it would be for me to keep doing this the way I do if I didn't have their support. So I'm so grateful to them, and God, I just pray that I can do better for them all the time and provide a better product. Pray for President Trump coming in for his protection and over his whole team, and for the wisdom to deal with all these almost infinite feeling problems they have. Pray for California. I just pray the good people of California, Lord, you protect them. You protect their goods, and God, that everything the good people have lost that is repaid to them. And I pray that, God, if there is whatever wicked stuff is going on as a result of this, I just pray that it is dealt with and people are brought to justice. And thank you for all you're doing, Lord. And we just pray that, God, whatever you could have us do, you let us know and put it on our hearts so that we can't ignore it. And then just give us wisdom to navigate this time. Bless everybody here in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. God bless you guys. Donkey. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. For the $5 donation, he says, help Ace if you can. Thank you, Donkey. I really appreciate that. I really do. Good night, Candace. Drew says, why haven't Trump's case gone away? I seen the whole hearing. Trump lawyer killed it. I don't know. They're under gag orders. Okay, Donkey. I didn't realize that. Yeah, man, Tan. Oh yeah, join the Discord, guys. We just put it up there. Jump in on that, and it's good stuff. So, all right, guys. God bless you. I gotta take off. Have a good one, and I will see you all tomorrow.